Yo, what's cracking everyone? Ericship triple one here. So with Forza Horizon 5 not being released for a while, I thought it would be nice to speculate one of the most important aspects about the Horizon series, and that is the location. You see, each Horizon game has been set in a different location, giving each respective title its own vibe and unique set of qualities. But what's more important is that the location should create a diverse environment that can appease all Horizon players, which is why since Horizon 3, many within the community, including myself, have been petitioning for a Horizon game to be set in Japan. Now remember, this is purely based on my opinion. Should you agree or disagree, let's have an open discussion down in the comment section below, as I would love to hear what you have to say. So in today's video, I'll be giving you 5 reasons as to why Japan would be the perfect location for Forza Horizon 5. Starting off with number 1, unique setting. So many AAA open world racing titles we have seen in the past, like Need for Speed, The Crew, and even Forza Horizon, have all been set in the Western world, and to be honest, it's getting a little bit stale. Every time I see a new sandbox racing game that is set in the United States, it's like The Crew has based their past 2 titles on the entire country. What's going to make your racing game stand out if it's set in a location we have experienced many times before? On top of that, we have now had 2 out of the 4 Horizon games set in Europe. And as beautiful as many of these countries are, the contrasting difference in scenery, infrastructure, roads, and cars that Japan can give to us players is what will make the game stand out in the series. What I love about Japan is that their road infrastructure can satisfy such a wide variety of racing. There's the expressways, which are these long highways built above the city grid to facilitate better traffic flow. But of course, we all know this is the best place to max your car's top speed and race against your friends to see who can be the next one-gun midnight superstar. Then of course, there's the mountain roads, often referred to as togeis, another separate group of races that primarily focuses on drifting. But then again, there's also speedrunners through these mountain roads too, whether it's going uphill or downhill, and there's so many of these toge roads to choose from. Perhaps the most famous one you probably know is Mount Akina in Gunma from Initial D. These 2 types of road layout alone would already fill the void that Horizon 4 was heavily criticized about. Yeah, sure, we may have had these small mountain roads on the main map, which was stupidly classed as a speed zone, or you could pay extra money to experience these mountain roads, which not everyone can afford. Not just that, the cities in Japan, such as Osaka, Tokyo, or Nagoya, they are filled with so much nice buildings that maybe for once in a Horizon game, I may just feel like I'm driving in a city. And we all know just how nicely lit these places can get during nighttime, and with the power of the next generation Xbox consoles, I believe there's no other place you can choose for the next Horizon title. Number 2, some cool JDM cars. When new cars are being introduced into the Forza Horizon franchise, some choices of vehicles that are being brought in can be heavily influenced based on where the game is set. For example, in Forza Horizon 3, we saw the introduction of many new Holdens and Fords that was never seen in the Forza franchise before. And of course, in Horizon 4, the cover car being the McLaren Senna was certainly a great addition to the game. However, as some of you might be aware, Playground Games and Turn 10 in recent years have really omitted a lot of new Japanese cars into the franchise, instead focusing more on new American and European cars. Now don't get me wrong, all cars that the developers have brought in are awesome, but seeing how little effort Playground Games have put into the Japanese cars makes me a little sad. Yeah, sure, there have been the return of some unicorn cars like the Mazda RX-7 Spirit A and the Honda NSX-R GT, but most of these cars have been in the franchise before. The one car I can truly think of that's new to this franchise and any other current titles is the Nissan Pulsar GTI-R. If only this was a sign of things to come. Just imagine the plethora of 90s Japanese cars we could have in the franchise, hidden gems like the 4-door Skyline, first generation Evolutions, or even the Mazda Yunos Cosmo could all be new cars being brought into the Forza franchise. Not only that, with Toyota now being back on board with video games, we could potentially see the new A90 Supra, along with other legendary Toyotas like the Chaser, Aristo, or maybe even the V12 Century. Now, I don't want to drag on this point for too long, but do you remember aftermarket cars back in the earlier Forza games like the Mugen Integras, Top Secret Silvias, or even the Mine Skyline? Now imagine reintroducing those tuner cars into Horizon 5. It's an opportunity for Playground Games to truly give us some much needed diversity in the car list. But of course, what do you guys think? Number 3, cruise control off. In the genre of open world races, I believe it's a very safe bet to say that the Forza Horizon series is sitting on top of the food chain. However, that throne at the top won't last forever, especially when I feel that Playground Games are working in cruise control mode. No, I'm not saying that individuals within the team aren't working hard, but there seems to be a lack of innovation now. I feel that they are almost piggybacking off the Horizon name itself, and the biggest indication of this was how little Horizon 4 improved over Horizon 3. In fact, if you compare them from launch game to launch game, no updates included, there were even many features left out from Horizon 4 that were favorites in Horizon 3. Features like class-based rivals, solo online adventure, and even photography, which all have been a huge part of the series, weren't included at launch. And until the community voiced their displeasure, then Playground Games drip-fed these already existing features back into the game. Now, how will setting a Horizon game in Japan force Playground Games to reinvent themselves? Well, first, of course, is scouting cars completely different to what they used to, which I mentioned in my point earlier. 2, with these Japanese cars, new or existing from the franchise, customization will be a huge factor that they will need to consider, as majority of the cars from Japan that people drive don't really keep them stock. So, how will customization change the way we play Horizon 5? Then of course there's map size. How much will it need to increase from the previous titles to make it seem like a significant upgrade and potentially future-proofing the game, as Horizon 4, you can clearly see that the game was developed with a 2-year cycle in mind, as even with new cars being brought in every month, the scenery and things to do in the map has just become quite repetitive. Basically, Horizon 5 in Japan will bring Playground Games outside of their comfort zone, and I would much rather them try something new and fail than cruise to mediocrity. Number 4, look at your fan base. This is critical because I feel you must listen to your community, Playground Games. Look, I understand that it's impossible to please everyone, but if you look at your Reddit, Discords and tweets, and if you read them, majority of the posts about where the next Horizon location should be set in is, of course, Japan. There's even concept box arts that people have spent their time making in hopes that a Horizon Japan would turn into reality. Rarely have I seen posts suggesting other locations, which means, Playground Games, your community wants this series to steer, no pun intended, to this direction, and if I was in charge of the series, I would do everything within my power to make the fans and community happy. Now, I understand that there's a current pandemic happening, but the great news for the developers now is that they have broken the 2-year cycle, meaning Horizon 5 will not have a proper release timeframe. This means the game can now take a good amount of time to develop without the pressure of releasing it at a certain date. Decisions can now be made with a lot of thought behind them, and hopefully based on what the community has asked for as well. And lastly, number 5, perfect for the new console. So by the time Horizon 5 releases, it will certainly be released on the new Xbox Series X, and what a great way to showcase both what the developers and the console can do. If we curate all of the points we talked about, it encompasses a formula that is only compatible with what the new generation Xbox can offer. So there we have it, guys. Those are my 5 reasons as to why Japan would be perfect for Forza Horizon 5. Let me know what you guys think. Are there any other countries that you would like to see Forza Horizon 5 be set in, or any additional comments that you would like to add to further validate Japan as a location? Write them all down in the comment section below. Anyways, if you guys did enjoy this video, please make sure to smash the thumbs up button. That would really help me out. And lastly, if you guys would like to see more Forza Horizon 4 or 5 or any other racing games right here on this channel, make sure to click the subscribe button with notifications turned on. That way you won't ever miss out on another video that goes live, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Peace.